I'm going to show you how I grow tomatoes in grow bags. For results like these from last year, just one indeterminate tomato grown in a grow bag can produce you anywhere from 20 to 40 very nice tomatoes. Now, I'm not saying I'm an expert, but if I can do this, you can do this. So join me and I'll show you how I do it. Now listen, why would I want to grow things in grow bags and raised beds? Well, I live here in the mountains of central Pennsylvania, and I built my house here in the woods, and all I have are slopes and rocks, and really don't have the opportunity for an in-ground garden. But remember, with just one tomato plant in a grow bag, you can produce 20 to 40 tomatoes, and they'll be the best eating that you ever ate. And you can grow them anywhere. On a slope, you could grow them up on the deck. You could grow them in your driveway, on a bank somewhere. And you don't have to do like me, like I'm doing now. When I started out, I just tried 1 or 2 bags. So anyhow, come along with me and I'll show you from start to finish how I do it. Let's talk first of all about grow bag size or container. If you're going to grow in a container, a hard container, make sure it drains well. But I use usually a 15-gallon grow bag for a large heirloom indeterminate tomato plant, and a 10-gallon if I'm using the determinate varieties, maybe those that bush and don't get quite as high. A 10-gallon grow bag. This is 10, this is 15. This year I'm going to experiment with some 20-gallon grow bags, which I'll show you at a later time. But my recommendation is, if you try a 5-gallon grow bag, it's just not going to work. At a very minimum, a 7-gallon. Now, I realize when you get to a 15-gallon, it can get fairly heavy. So you may want to set this and plant your tomato where it's going to stay. If you're not as, as strong as what I am, that I can carry this. But today I'm going to show you on the table here, and we're going to use a 15-gallon grow bag. The next thing we're going to do is talk about what soil to use. It can get very expensive using all brand new soil, but I don't recommend you using any of your old tomato soil from last year unless you didn't have any trouble with blight or anything like that. So I used some soil from this grow bag, which I grew potatoes in last year. I already put this in. It is Miracle Grow garden soil for in-ground use. It's not really a soil. It's more of I think a cheaper potting soil that you mix with other soil. But the number one ingredient that I'm going to tell you about is potting mix. Make sure you use a good potting mix. And I'm by no means saying that Miracle Grow is the best potting mix. This is about $5 cheaper than the Coast of Maine potting mix that I could have bought. I'm going to use a good bit of this potting mix. Probably not quite the whole bag. And then the next ingredient that I use, and this is a mushroom soil, natural organic mushroom soil that is very, seems to be very rich. I really like this brand. So let's just put some of this on, probably about a half a bag of this compost. Now I'll mix that really good. You can see this is a very loose soil mix that I made, probably even fairly rich. I'm going to go ahead and fill this fresh new bag, 15-gallon grow bag, full of this soil mix. I'm going to leave room on the top for mulch, but that'll come at a later date. I'll let you know about that. Now we have our 15-gallon grow bag with soil about 4 inches near the top. And we're going to take a look at the variety of tomato I'm going to plant for you today. This is a big beef variety tomato, and it says it produces large flavorful fruits much earlier than other varieties in its class. Matures in 73 days, and it is a full size, growing tomatoes up to from 10 ounces, probably even up to 13, 14 ounces in size, and they're very, very tasty. This is an indeterminate plant, so it will produce tomatoes right up until your first frost, and it'll grow very, very tall. The next thing I'm going to tell you is that you want to plant your tomato plant very deep, and because all these little hairs, and I'll try and give you a close-up of those hairs, are going to grow roots. So you don't want this tomato plant just sitting up here on top, or it's never going to get the root system that it needs. So it needs to go in depth, probably almost down to there. So we're going to begin by trimming these bottom leaves off. I'll just pinch them off. These were the ones that start from the seed. And then I'm going to go and just pinch off the next one. And I'm going to pinch this one off also. And then I'm also going to pinch off this one right here. Now I got probably 4 or 5 leaves on top, or limbs. And then I want to get it up to about this level in the soil. So I'm going to have to dig a pretty deep hole. Let me see if I can show you the hairs on that plant. You see all these little hairs? They're going to grow roots. So let's go ahead and get our hole dug here in the middle. And I grow it right in the middle of the plant. Always only plant one plant per grow bag. I don't know if I said that earlier or not, but you're going to have to know that. Yep, it's going to even have to be deeper. Okay, I think I have it about where I want it now. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that out of the... Make sure you squeeze it around all sides. You don't want to disturb them roots any more than you have to. And we're going to stick it way down in there. I hope you can see it okay. And then we're just going to cover all the way around that plant. I'm actually going to put some more soil in here because I'd like to have it up on there a little bit deeper. Still have room for mulch on top, which we'll do at a later date. We're going to talk just a little bit about what I use. This is one thing that I learned to use. I think it helps with blight, called copper fungicide by Bondini. You can use it as a spray or a dust. I just use it as a dust. And each tomato plant that I use, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit around on the top of the soil. Not much, because it's, it can get very expensive. And then I just work that in just a little bit. The reason I put my stuff on top on a container is as you water it, everything gets worked down and it gets eventually worked out of the bag. So this is just a preventative to try and guard against early blight. Now after the copper fungicide, I just water the plant down because I want that dispersed into the soil. The very next thing I'm going to show you would be bone meal. An all-natural plant food by Espoma. And I'm going to put this on top because it's eventually going to get watered down in and all get washed away anyhow. So, and I'm just going to circle around the plant because the roots aren't that big yet. I'm just going to put 1 tablespoon for now. Probably something that you're going to want to keep adding at least every other week throughout the year. The next thing I'm going to show you is an organic tomato tone fertilizer. Again, it's an all organic by the same company. I'm going to put a tablespoon or 2 of that. Probably about 2 tablespoons. There we have it. That's what I do as far as fertilizer to start with. Just going to hit that with a little bit of water. Just enough to start to work it into the soil. Another thing that I should tell you is to avoid early blight is don't water down over your leaves. if you get a really, really hard rainy spring after you plant these, here east of the Mississippi, it's almost impossible to keep from getting some kind of an early blight. But it really won't hurt it. The plant will outgrow it. The fruits will outgrow it. Now you're going to need some kind of a cage for your plant. And this is where I falter a lot of times. The plants get so high, and sometimes I just have trouble sustaining them. Maybe you have better ideas for me, but I would start out with this cage, probably like so, and then I will put some stakes that maybe I drive right on down through the grow bag to reinforce this. And then eventually I may have to put something on top of this yet, because these will get probably as tall as what I am. Okay, I think you can see where I placed this tomato. I'm also going to place a row of tomatoes, probably keep them 2 foot apart or better, and maybe put a small container of flowers in between them to draw in the bees. And watering, let's talk a little bit about watering. I'm not going to get a lot of morning sun here, but they're going to get full afternoon sun, and that sun can get very scorching hot. So you're going to have to water at least every day in these grow bags. I even soak the bags well on the outside. If you're home, you might even want to water them twice a day. Or if you got an opportunity to do an irrigation system where you do the drip line in them, then your watering can be more even. Don't water them down over the plant. Always water just around. Try not to splash soil up on the leaves at all. The drier you can keep these leaves, the less chance you're going to have of blight. Well, there you have it. This is the way I grow tomatoes, the way I plant them, and it's worked for me here in central Pennsylvania, and it can work for you also. If I can do it, you can do it. And again, I hope this has inspired you in some way to grow things on your own. The taste of your own homegrown fruit is amazing. My wife and I can, from the tomatoes that I raised, you've seen a few pictures at the beginning. We've canned pizza sauce, salsa, tomato juice. I know I'm forgetting a bunch, some whole tomatoes, diced tomatoes. We've canned just about anything and everything. A chili base that we really, really like. And I'll be showing you some more future videos. Probably, keep you updated each week on how my garden is doing. And we're not, this is not necessarily a how-to channel. It's more of a hands-on channel. I want you to be able to see these things grow and just how it works. And if we fail, we fail. Anyhow, God's blessings to you. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, and join me for future videos.